built. So now they've got to put leveller on and screed on, so we can't go in the kitchen.
Oh, right, yeah.
A bit. Once that's done, it mightn't be as bad. They can start putting the kitchen in and you might get a bit more space.
It'll be very nice, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, Lillian.
No, I know. That's what I keep saying.
Right. Too true.
I just wasn't expecting quite so much work.
So much egg.
Yeah.
Just saying, Top, we're getting a new kitchen, so it's all a bit chaotic in the house at the moment.
It is stressful having work people in, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
we
We know him, but it's still stressful, and
yeah.
get muck and dust everywhere as well.
Yeah, just get
Morning.
everyone. Hi, Lynn.
Morning,
Morning,
Lynn.
Hello,
morning,
everyone.
morning.
We've had a new driveway done, and the dust seems to go. It's settled now, but and they did a good job, But it's just you walking in and you're walking the dust in and all.
Yeah, no, it's can't be helped.
No,
Oh, you okay, guys? We had a good week.
yeah,
Yes,
Fine.
thank you.
Sharon, are you better?
Yes. Yeah, I've been negative since last Wednesday.
How's
And Chris,
now, Sharon?
yeah, today we tested his negative as well
Hooray.
now.
Hey,
Oh God.
Oh dear. We
Seems to
get there in the end.
be going on as well as COVID, doesn't it? It's like, where it's cold, that I'm covered and everything. So. Yeah, I don't think we ever get back to normal, really. So we've got loads to get through today. So it's a bit of an old school one, really. One of the main ones is the July newsletter. So we've got loads of stuff coming up that I'm recording this for the people who can't make it, but you might want to grab some dates for your diary for this one. It's quite a lot. Yeah, no worries. Right. When you do Zoom, it puts the toolbar across the bits at the top that you're trying to get to. How convenient. Okay, so we did say a while ago, in fact, it was Chris who asked for a newsletter every month, and then she left Patreon the next week. Yeah, well, we do a newsletter every month anyway. I think it's useful for us to have a kind of regular update. So much kind of coming up and so much changing at the moment that it's worth us folks kind of having a grip on it. So I'll do a quick through this. We've got a ton of exciting stuff coming up as promised, and patrons still get first refusal on all of this. So Lynn is generously hosting an artist gathering in the next few weeks, date to be announced. So Lynn and I were talking about this, trying to figure out what the weather's going to be like in
I know, it's just really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every day I'm looking at the long-term weather forecast. Possibly next week. What dates are is best for you, Top, next week?
Probably
It's
Thursday.
Jill's service, isn't it, next week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on
Yes, it's on the Tuesday. Isn't it? Is that Tuesday or the Wednesday?
that's on the Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monday we'll be doing this. Tuesday's Jill service. Wednesday will be a live drawing. Thursday is free. So if Thursday's weather was looking okay, that'd be grand.
That would be the 14th.
The 14th, yeah.
Well, don't put it in as a definite. I'm just going to check the weather today, and hopefully I'll try and get something sorted out ASAP.
The weather changes 3 times in a day.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But you really want it nice.
Yeah.
So I'll just add in possibly the 14th, but we won't strictly hold us to that, Lynn, because it's very generous of you to offer this anyway.
Fine. I just need to get baking.
Well, I mean, one of the other things on this is the Hilbury Island one, and again, for weeks before that, I'm checking iPhone weather, but of course, iPhone weather isn't actually an app; it's just a statement on screen that says it's going to rain, and it's every day. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter what day it is; it just says it's going to rain.
just as rain.
Yeah.
I know that one.
I was told that, it's stop clockers right twice a day, isn't it? So I did a thing in Kirby at schools last week, and it did rain while I was trying to do an outdoor drawing with like kids. It said like that, my skirt's wet, my hair's wet. 3-minute drawing, let's just draw and go back. Okay, so a lot of the dates actually this time is to do with summer school at Smithdown. So
Oh, right.
we did say that there'd be some full-day events and some shorter sessions: painting, printmaking, life drawing, felt making, collage, typography, an art auction to raise money for the gallery. And all of this, we're doing this in solidarity with Smithdown because they've been so good at hosting our sessions and from the start that when they didn't get a funding bid in, I was really sad about it because they're so supportive with us that they had to kind of lay off 2 staff members. So a lot of this we thought Paul and I had actually do some workshops that we didn't get paid for in order that we could raise a bit of money for them, but it kind of weirdly gave us free rein to just go, what can we do, as if we were playing. So we've had loads of fun designing this. First one is very soon, isn't it? Is this weekend coming, and that's actually not Smithdown. That's at the Bridewell, and it's kind of to do with what are they called, the Liverpool Sketching Authority, or whatever the
Live Sketch Club.
Live Sketch Club. There you go. They've got a 150th anniversary, which is amazing, actually, for an arts group in Liverpool coming up. And they've asked Paul if the Urban Sketches, the Ordinary Urban Sketches, can coincide with that. So normally the Urban Sketches would be the first Saturday of the month, but this time it's the 9th, and they've offered us the 10th to do a printmaking based on that. So the Bridewell will be hosting that. That's a full day.
So just the Liverpool Live Sketch Club 150th on Saturday. It's taking place in Liverpool 1.
Yes.
There's going to be people dressed up in Victorian costume walking
Yeah.
around. So it'd be quite good to get down there.
We've got some interest.
Where in Liverpool 1?
I don't know exactly where, Sharon. I'm just going to try and find out from Paul before Wednesday.
Okay.
But it's not that big as a Liverpool 1. You have to walk.
Yeah, if you spot some Victorian-looking people around, it's probably.
It's not that big. You can't really miss them, but it's from 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and they've got a few things laid on. So they've got like a life model, and they've got various. It's not just the Urban Sketches. It's a bit wider than that. So it would be interesting to link up with our cousins from another group and go and have a draw if anyone's free, or if you want on the Sunday, come and have a print make with us. So the next one is Paul's own workshop, which I'm hoping to attend myself because I never get to go to workshops, and it's painting from the model. So generally life drawing, but this is a little bit more in depth, and it's a full day course. So that's the 17th. Then I'll be doing a kind of similar one where we'll be building a figure from the model.
Which is the one with felts then? You said felt making.
So that's on here, yeah. So I'll read through them in.
Oh, it's not there yet. All right.
So can I just interrupt you again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Originally, you had down Sketch with Tuck on July the 7th.
Yeah. No, we've had to re-swap some things with Smithdown, and one of them I think was a date that they were doing some kind of launch or something, so we had to swap them around a little bit.
So nothing. That's not happening on the 7th. Then.
No, this is as up to date really as we've got. So,
Okay. Sorry.
no, you're right. It's Oscar. The 7th, there is a sketching event on the 7th now, but it's the Kirby one. So that's the Kirbyography thing we've got. And let's just sidestep into this. So the project Kirbyography is about writing a biography of Kirby. And the original thing was about memory of people who'd lived there for a long time. So they're really talking about older people. And when the funding came in, the council said, yeah, so we're delivering that in schools. So all the artists went, yeah, but 6-year-olds haven't got memories of Kirby, so that, you know.
Yeah.
So the you know, I would never say the woman who runs the gallery and who's organised this as much as she's possible, it is a genius. You know, she's done really, really well to get it all together. But there seems to be some people in the council who've really dropped the ball and who've aimed it all at schools and everything. So indeed, you are right, Rod. I am doing some drawing on the St. Chad's as the kind of schools event.
Okay.
Get that done, and I've done for the last 3 weeks now. I've been in schools, and I'm just not good with kids at all. It's not my ideal at all. The groups, I'm a group of 12 adults listen and take notes and ask questions. I'm not used to 30 kids crying because someone won't share the felt ups. But that, wow, okay. So, and then sometimes they say things I just don't quite know what to say to respond to them. So they've had fun. You know, the feedback from it has been really good. But yeah, it's not something I've particularly been excited about doing it. So, but because we've done that, it's opened the door now to the more funding. So there will be the adult versions of this, and there will be more stuff coming up with Kirby, and there will be more getting hopefully more life drawing and all those kind of things aimed at adults. So that's a doorway into that anyway.
Okay.
If we want to sign up for any of these, what do we do?
For any of these ones that we're talking about now,
Yeah. It's on the thing. I mean, I'd be interested in the life making one, you know. So, what do we do?
yeah, any of the life ones, if you should be able to just ring Smithtown now.
Oh.
Now, part of it was that they've stepped back a little bit from Eventbrite because it just was unpopular and people didn't.
Yeah.
But there is a really serious reason why we set up the Eventbrite, which was obviously we lost the Tuesday afternoon after the start because people booked onto it but just didn't arrive. So
Oh, right.
gallery lost loads of money over that. So the fact that they're losing staff, but they're still running our classes, even though hunters are kind of saying, "Oh yeah, we'll definitely come to that." In fact, 2 people on the Tuesday afternoon booked all of the sessions and didn't come to any of them. So
Oh,
That's dreadful.
hundreds of
that's awful.
Silly is that?
Who do we contact? Elsa, is it?
you know, you can just phone the gallery, phone Brenda, or
Have you got a number for them?
I'll add that in.
Yeah.
In fact, when I post this, I'll add this one later on. When
Okay.
I put the number underneath, so you can. But yeah, it's just Smithtown Gallery, and
Right.
who organises all the funding there is Brenda, who again, like Tina and Kirby, is a total saint. How she keeps her sanity, I don't know, but she bends over backwards to support us. So, yeah, if you just let her know that you want to come on the class, and she'll put you down for that.
Yeah.
So the building the figure from Mixed Media will be not a clay thing. We'll be working in a range of other materials to make 3D figures. And that's one that I think Pat wanted to go to, but I don't know whether Pat's with us this morning.
Is that at Smithtown?
That's at Smithtown, yeah. Really, unless I'll add that in, yeah, just for clarity. So that's at the Bridewell,
Yeah.
and all the others except Hilbury are at Smithtown.
Mhm.
Right.
This is their summer school, and obviously the reason it's quite exciting really because when we do like a weekly course like Art from the Start or Life Drawing or Printmaking or the other ones we've done, people can kind of have to commit to them into each week, or they'll miss out on it. Whereas but we know loads of people are away on holiday, so if we do day courses, either
Yeah.
around. And if you're around for it and you want to sign up for it, then it's not gonna throw your holiday out of whack, by having like a 1-day thing. The Hilbury Island Adventure is the Sunday the 4th, and Lynn, you have my great sympathy and solidarity here because up for weeks before that I'll be checking the iPhone to see if it's raining on that day.
24th.
That's the 24th, yes, that's a Sunday.
Is the best day for you, Talk, the week after that?
The week after the let's see. Probably again the Thursday. I think Thursday or Friday, actually, the 21st or 22nd as well.
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as I can. Keep it free, everybody.
Well, if you let me know, Lynn, you know, if say like the day before, just in case the date's on, you know, in case the weather is looking poor,
Yeah.
I'll post it to Patreon in one of those posts that goes out to everyone. So once we know, we will know. Everyone will know.
You know, some of those people that don't belong to Patreon, you've got their email addresses as well, haven't you?
General data list, yes. Mostly Paul's got that actually, so I'll but obviously Paul will know as well about this because he's back on Wednesday. Paul's getting far too many days away and eventually he said without a twist of jealousy at all. Yeah, my next one is the Penny Lane sketch and etch. So it's not really a Beatlesy thing. It's just because Penny Lane is beautiful, you know. But you know, we might get some other people who like the Beatles coming along on that one. So we'll go out, have a walk around Penny Lane in the morning, do some drawing, have lunch, and then come back and make something from it. That'll be like a nice full day's event. Again, in lovely Smithdown Studios. I'm posting a really interesting one on the 30th, which I won't be able to attend because I'm busy that day. But Liz is going to run it with them, and they both did a CPD and handmade sketchbooks. So I went about a fortnight ago to Paul's, and we sat and we made handmade sketchbooks, and it's absolutely fascinating. I went really fast because it's a kind of hands-on process. But yeah, to have your own handmade sketchbook is a wonderful thing, I think. And once you've got the skill, you could make them in any size or any shape, really. So that's the 30th of August. And then moving further into, 30th of July. I've got that right, haven't I? No, that's a mistake.
Oh, July.
So moving actually into August, Elsa's Felt Making is likely to be 3 short workshops on Wednesday mornings. So that'll be kind of her off and start slot.
I was really looking forward to that talk, but I'm not getting here.
You'll not be here for any of them, or?
Not for that one, no.
Yeah. She's doing the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th, but I don't know.
No, I'm aware. Oh, I see. It's not all 3.
No, yeah, I don't know, but I imagine she'll make a set of samples that, you know, could carry on from one session to the other, but give...
I can do the 3rd, it's okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, I haven't seen her session plan for that yet. I don't know whether she's going to split it up or how she's going to do it, but if you give the Bridewell a bell and just let them know that you'll want to do one, and they'll pass it on to Elsa.
So where's that? Is that at Smithdown?
That's the Smithdown, yeah.
Smithdown, yeah.
And then later on, so end of August, Karen's doing a typography and collage one. So Karen is a graphic designer, and it's a little bit more advanced than most people have done with typography and collage. It's a fascinating area to go into. So again, if I'm free, I'd love to go along and do it myself. You know, just to not to kind of watch what Karen's doing, but just to learn from her, because she's a lot more skilled in a lot of areas than I am. So I think that'll be fascinating. And we've got quite a few real graphics people like Heather and Andrea, and people who've got that direction in the work. It'd be lovely if they could do that as well. So yeah, the art auction is obviously that's free to come to, and that's the idea that people who've exhibited there will be selling work. But that's really just a get together with wine and Paul said he'll actually he'll be the auctioneer for that, and he's definitely got the personality, so that should be great fun. And then we were planning when we got back for Half and the Start. The new term will start for Half and the Start in September, and we'd said that we were going to go an exhibition, but it's a bit too quick to start in September, exhibit straight away in September. They've given us till January to do that, which means that anything we've done in the last block and anything we do in this block could be framed up and put into that exhibition. So all Brenda will need to know is kind of who wants to put what in. But we have got till January for that, so that's a lovely opportunity for all lot to have an exhibition in there. and we know how you know serious and how kind of professionally they take the exhibitions in those. So that's that's Hilbury with the link for that's already on Eventbrite, that one. So Hilbury's one of our courses, obviously. So people on Patreon who are on the 15 or the 25 block will get the discounts on that. But again, you know, if it absolutely hammers down on the day, we'll message the people who've booked onto it and say we'll move it to a different week. And if they can't make it that week, we'll refund it. But we don't want people to feel like if it's booked down, they have to come out to, you know, on Slippy Rocks with us. And, we did have one year where it rained a bit, but we went to Midline, sat under the cave bit, just sat and meditated until it went away. So it was really good. So last week we did the live seminar at the Walker, and I thought it was really good actually. I was really, it was lovely to see everyone, and it was lovely to have a coffee with everyone and just talk about the art that we've seen. It felt really like a proper Rose Lane thing that we used to do before all this, man.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah.
So it just felt so good that you know, I'd like to do that once a month, really.
Yeah.
And obviously the Walker is only open on a Sunday, so the Monday seminar for that, you know, we'd give plenty of notice, but probably, you know, near the end of each month we'd try and do one of them. And we could go to FACT or Sudley or the Tate or the Open Eye, or, you know, there's loads and loads of galleries in Liverpool.
Yeah.
There is nice stuff on the Bridewell at the moment, actually, if you get a chance to swing past there.
So if you thought about making it the last Sunday of the month, people would know, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's the only reason I'm a bit hesitant about that is because I'm often booked in on Sundays at the moment. So, like the
just a thought that people, you know,
it is a good idea kind of going forward. So if we do the next couple over the summer, just as like kind of near the end of the month, and then from September, from August onwards, I'd be able to say it was definitely the last one. But in July I can't because there's so much going on in July.
August is the bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
August is bank holiday weekend, yeah, which always kind of jumps out and surprises me. But yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, Rod. So, well, I'll just add that in. You know.
Can everyone do Sundays though if they're going to church or?
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. And I'm not sure about the other galleries, but I know definitely the Walker is the one that's.
Yeah, that's not open Monday.
Well, having said that, it's an interesting idea. You know, there's no reason why it has to be in the morning. But, you know, if it's if it's a slightly different time slot, if people, you know, had church commitments on a Sunday morning, then do it an hour later or whatever. So yeah, just keep me in the loop about that. If there's stuff that people needed to do, then we could arrange if the time that best suits all of us, really. Again, you know, it's like you know, there's so much to see in the Walker that we haven't covered it. You know, we only saw really one piece each extra, and we talked about Nelson, didn't we, in the When Did You Last See Your Father? But we could do a drawing day in the sculpture room with life models who don't move. Don't even breathe. So yeah, that's you know, that's kind of most stuff coming up. But the summer break is just that, you know, like we did last year. You guys don't have to do anything. We just suspend payments for August. So
Right.
So you know, it feels like we kind of restart the term academically in September. And yeah, an update. Rod was mentioning last time that we had some dates initially penciled in. It's taken so long with the university, but the good news is it's definitely going ahead. So I've just changed this bit to say that the wheels grind a little slow with this one. It's been over a month that I've been waiting for the email back. So I know it's a big organisation, and I know they've got loads of funding and stuff, you know, to go through. But as soon as we are back about that one, we will. But the good news is that it is going ahead, and it is in conjunction with the Tate.
Is that Nest Gardens? Is it?
Nest Gardens and not just Nest Gardens, but Crosby Beach and things like that as well.
Oh, good. Yeah.
We're
Okay.
also doing stuff at the university, Tate. So as soon as we know about that, that's probably going to be in next month's newsletter by the time they get back to us. But it's a great opportunity. I hope they don't leave it too long and then say in November or something, say, right, we're going out to the landscape drawing, because
Yeah.
it isn't as fun if they leave it till the bad weather. But it's interesting that we're now working as well just with their art history department. So they've got another lecturer who's going to be delivering some kind of theoretical stuff as well, and like, you know, colliding that with the stuff that I'm doing. So that's yeah, a nice opportunity. It's just that it's taken, let's just say, yeah, the Liverpool Uni last month announced exciting news that we're delivering in conjunction with the State of Liverpool, and may now include 3-day courses. The other thing that they've offered is that they would provide a certificate for it as well. So it would be lovely to be able to do our nice things that we do and get a university certificate for it. So other bits, so this is this weekend. Paul's been approached by the Live Sketching Club in conjunction with Liverpool Urban Sketches to run events on the 9th and 10th of July. He's away at the moment, but the Dry Point will be at the Bridewell on Sunday the 10th. So although he's away, he's been very good about keeping in touch on by text. So 92 Degrees, this is, you know, for people who've done life drawing at 92 Degrees, the exhibition then was going to be September as well. But I don't know how we've angled this, but we've got an extension to December. Of course, December is the biggest sales month, so it's a sales exhibition. So we sold, even during COVID, you know, we had enough people exhibiting in it to fill two of the coffee shops, not just one. And there may be more this year, but we made sales each time we've done it. So if it's a couple of weeks before Christmas when we're exhibiting, I think we're onto a real winner with this one. So touch wood, anyway, you know, we'll sell off the work. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, hang on. So we'll just come out and share for a minute there. Right, so is everyone okay with those bits? We got any questions about those?
Right.
So what I'll be doing is that I'll add this recording onto Patreon this evening, and I'll attach the Word documents underneath. So you can't attach it on the email on the system, but you can attach it as a file. So if you look underneath this post of us talking now, this one, there'll be a Word document attached, and that'll be that document you're just reading through if you need to go through it more. So we've also got just waiting for the tool. We've been running the Journeys project now for some months, and I think it's been really exciting. I've loved some of the work that's going on. I just wanted to have a final check-in about that before we move on. Coming into some holidays, so a lot of us will be going on Journeys. Just can't get the toolbar to go away. It's right in the way of what we're doing. Yeah, I've got loads of links onto there to show you, and it won't let me. I don't know whether you guys can even see, but from your side, or from my side, the toolbar is right in front of all. Can't even minimize it.
At the top it says copy of Going Places. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I can't see that because the black line.
Yeah, I can
well,
see
there's-
that, yeah.
You can, yeah,
You guys
On
can't
the
see it,
right,
but I can
on
see
the
it.
right hand
yeah.
side.
Yeah,
Go
all
up
I've got is the black bar. You can see it over there. But,
Just if you go along a bit to the left,
Yeah,
if-
if you move,
yeah.
move
move your cursor.
the cursor to the left.
if I do that, it's over the Zoom toolbar though, so it'll just it'll click on the Zoom toolbar.
Can't you minimise Zoom?
Oh, I did that last time. I could minimize Zoom.
Okay, so it's not even on full screen though, so it's okay. Right, so let's don't kind of, it'll either let me share or minimize it. Yeah, because now the share button is below the bottom of the screen. Right, let's see if it'll let me share and then minimize. Okay, right. Thank you, Rod. That was better.
Mhm.
Oh, it's done it again. It's just no. It's there must be a way out of this. It can't be this.
Are you back with the toolbar over the top?
Toolbar over the top, yeah. So I can't actually see what I'm sharing with you. Let's come out of screen share again. Right, I've moved the whole everything down. Let's see if we let me do that now.
Could one of us open up Going Places?
Could do, yeah. I mean, it's. I think Leslie, I think you've put stuff on it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I've moved the block of everything else, which is absolutely rubbish, down underneath. So I can't have this full screen, but. So I'd opened up I sent this link out to everyone, but no one's put anything on it, which is the kind of end of the project thing, which is Journey's End. But we've also got Going Places. So Leslie, you've added some stuff to this.
I've just added that today.
Yeah.
And I've added, quite a lot of stuff on Canada. Can you not put that into full screen now?
I can't, no, because the toolbar is over it. If I put it into full screen, I can't access it. And now that I've done that, I can't get out of it again because.
Oh.
But I can still access this. Let's start at the end and we'll go back through it. I can't come out of it or resize it or anything. But
right.
Fortunately, the slideshow and share cursors on this are below that. So.
Oh, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
I would love you to say that you painted this.
No. So would I.
It's you, isn't it?
I mean, you can see it takes up the whole of the side of the building.
know.
It's amazing.
It's excellent, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
I love that the sense that he's looking at you. And you kind of, no matter if you were looking out of a window a mile away, you'd still get a sense that someone was looking at you.
Yeah, but it's fantastic. Yeah.
Better than looking at just these high-rise things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
some of the murals we saw put on in Quebec were fantastic.
They're particularly skillful, aren't they? The people.
Oh. Amazing, just amazing.
Because you can't exactly stand back and look at your work, can you?
Well, this is it. You wonder how to do it, don't you? I wonder if they've got, a mate sitting in an office, 500 yards away, with an iPhone, sending them texts.
Yeah.
They must plan it out, wasn't they?
Yeah.
They must plan it
I
out.
didn't get close up to that one, so I just saw it from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think they plan it all out very carefully.
Must do, yeah.
You
But
have to have like a grid and then
Yeah,
slide
that's it.
it up.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
it
Oh, very good.
of a singer, doesn't it, of someone famous who's kind of bigger than, who's like everyone can see or everyone knows about. So it's kind of like
yeah,
the way we depict someone who was.
Is he from Montreal?
He's
I
a
think so.
Canadian.
He's
Yeah.
certainly
He's a Canadian.
Canadian. He was, yeah. I
Yeah.
think so, though. Yeah.
He's a fascinating guy, isn't he?
Mm.
Good music to go to sleep by.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when the others were whale watching, and I sat in the cafe, which I am, and did some sketching and had my lunch.
That's very nice.
It's really nice to learn this.
It's a lovely place, actually. Lovely place, Tadoussac. Really nice.
Mm.
Yeah, you've really considered all the key elements of drawing landscape there, and it's this is something that that I want. I got a great book about drawing landscape recently, and I want to kind of push some of that when we're out at Hilbury or when we're at Nest Gardens or whatever. Just ways that we can improve what we do. And maybe this has been useful because going out and drawing with kids, you know, like when we take them out, the basics of things like you have to say things like, I don't want anyone to sit in the direct sunlight because you'll all go home and you'll have sunburn on your heads and your mums will shout. Say, let's consider the golden section of the rule of thirds, or you know, or tonal waiters in the drawing. So I think, you know, for us as adults, engaging with the landscape has got, well, I suppose what I'm saying there is lots of people who haven't drawn the landscape approach it in the way that we take for granted that we're going to include certain things, or certain things are important to us. Just in the way that when you're working with kids, you won't even get to the point where you understand where to sit or what they're looking at. So I think, you know, there's always a chance to step up what we're doing with in real space. But I think you've really done that on this one, Leslie. This is great.
Pen and ink.
Yeah,
pen.
and a bit of watercolor pencil as well.
Yeah. So that's the tonal treatment here is great. So what did you do? You drew that and then you washed it over with a brush, or?
Yeah, it's the what do you call it? The water soluble pen.
Yeah.
I've used the waterproof pens as well, and the water soluble pen.
Yeah.
And as I say, some of the some watercolor pencils, for example, the sandy bit at the bottom, and you know. Yeah.
Great combination.
Just playing around with it, really. You know, that's the actual thing. You see. Yeah. But it was a lovely place. The houses there are lovely. They're like these wooden houses with verandas. You know, it's so nice. It's a really nice place.
I think if you draw a place, particularly when you're on holiday, if you draw a place and you see it with those eyes that you don't see Liverpool with necessarily, because you know we walk around Liverpool and we see it all the time. Those kind of fresh eyes that you get on holiday.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember the place much more than just taking the photo. So although the photo is great, because you've done that, it'll go into your visual cortex much more than.
Yeah.
I just think that's really valuable.
This was the Nicholas Party exhibition, Nicolas Party, and quite strange. I mean, that's one of his paintings as well, the one with the fire there.
Yeah.
There's his sculptures, you know, they're very, very strange, but you know, striking.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him before. No, I'd never heard of him before. It was called something mauve, something about mauve. Can't remember what it was called now. But
How big
yeah,
is
it was
the,
interesting.
how big are the figures, Leslie?
Quite big, pretty big. I mean, particularly the one with the red one.
See the
Yeah,
person.
It's big. Oh yeah.
It's quite a startling image, isn't it? With the kind of open eyes and the.
Yeah.
Is this like glacial melt going on behind?
That's the sort of you can see somebody standing next to it. See how big it is, and then there's like this thing behind it, painting behind it, you know. And then those figures down the bottom. It was weird because depending on where you stood, it was like almost like the head could fit onto the body, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was interesting. And we had a guide to take us around, which was helpful because our friends, she'd been before without a guide, and she said it meant a lot more when you go with a guide. You know, you need that really.
Is there a theme of climate change going through it? Is that because we've got fire and we've got melt and ice and everything?
Yeah, that's part of it, I suppose. But you know,
Because the figure in front of the melting glacier doesn't look very.
they're very sort of. What's the word?
She's red because of the heat.
You can't, you know, it's you can't tell if it's a man. It could be either a man or a woman, you know.
Yeah. There's this idea as well of kind of everyman, isn't there? You know, where we make generic reference to the person or the figure because it's not like the Leonard Cohen. It's the opposite. You know, it's about all of us rather than a particular person.
Yeah. And those are the other murals you see. They're in downtown Montreal, and you can see that it just amazing that how they're done.
Yeah.
It's like three-dimensional, but you know,
Remarkable, isn't it?
they're remarkable. They absolutely are amazing. Amazing. That is. I mean, the middle one particularly, because the detail on it.
Yeah.
And it's a mural. You know, it looks like you can walk into it. But it's amazing, fantastic.
So what it is telling us about Montreal is that it's a city which respects visual art, or that, you know,
Yes,
that takes it
definitely,
seriously.
Yeah.
As you said earlier on, Lillian, that you know that it, you know, this is better than looking at blank tower block.
Yeah.
We as artists, you know, can change our environment, I think, and that, you know, that's an amazing thing.
I mean,
I
even
think-
sort of
Yeah.
the pictures of the windows and the people looking out the windows, it's just painted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But they're
do
not
that.
like historic scenes as well.
Yes,
The
yes.
history of the
Oh, yeah.
Montreal.
Yes.
And there was one in Paris that we used to take the students to Paris, and there was just one of my favourite pieces of street art. It was a shadow of a tree painted onto a wall.
Yes.
And that whole tree was in, you know, it was like, it wasn't done in black. It was done in a paler version of the colour of the wall. So you know, it looked like the way real light was striking it. And the tree was in full leaf. You know, and the shadow was amazing. But when you actually walk past the tree itself, it was always January when we went. The tree was bare. You know. Shadow was in full leaf. So subtle, and you know, you'd see people just walk past it, and every so often someone would go, you know, kind of.
Oh, and this was the Van Gogh exhibition. Yeah, that was fantastic. That's been in England as well. I think it. Lillian, was it you that said it? You went saw it in York.
Yeah. I think it's still there in York. I think
Is
it's
it?
quite a permanent sort of thing in a church in York.
It's worth seeing if you get the chance to go. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Did
There's
people
music and commentary, isn't there?
Yes, yes.
I wonder how he would have felt about this, because he was so. He died penniless, didn't he? And he didn't
Yeah.
have any concept that his work, you know, was loved or. I'd love him to just to be able to have a glimpse of this, of people taking
Yeah.
this seriously, that,
Yeah.
what he was doing. Yeah. Amazing. Does anyone see the film Love and Vincent?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely breathtaking, isn't it?
Is that the animated one?
Animated, yeah, and every
So clever.
panel of animation was painted. So it
Yeah.
really, it's like I've never seen anything like it. It's,
No, it's very clever. Brilliant. Oh, this was the Cirque du Soleil, which well, I've seen the Cirque du Soleil, I think 4 times now, but different show each time.
yeah,
They were like sort of the clowns, but the things that they do are impossible. But they're not, you know, you're watching it, you think, how do they do that? You know? Unbelievable.
I'd love to see that. I've never seen Cirque du Soleil.
It's been to Liverpool. It has been a few years because I took my mum to see it at the arena in Liverpool. If it ever comes again, she should go.
Yeah,
It's just stunning. I think they must have different troops all over the place. I mean, the guy there high up on the tightrope and he's skipping, you know, and then you can see how the contortionists, you know, like the fellas on the right there.
yeah.
Got no bones.
Yeah, this wheel game as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrific.
I love this stunning acrobatics and balletics. You watch it and think, no, that's not possible.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, exactly that.
Yes.
That's back to the Van Gogh again, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's projected over these people.
Yeah, and there was a part, I mean, I didn't know how to put a video up on here. There's a part where you can walk across and it looks like it's splashing in water because it's moving.
Yeah.
London on at the moment, isn't there? For Klimt, I think. Is it Klimt?
With the gold.
But there's an exhibition like this, a filmed exhibition on.
Is there?
Yeah.
I know that there's one of Monet as well. There is one of Monet which I've not seen.
incredible amount of space in it, isn't it? Reminds me of like kind of holodeck from Star Trek or something. You know, the idea that that space is in the distance is a lie in it. You know, it's kind of
Yes.
yeah. You do it quite cleverly, don't you, by lining up like lines of vanishing points onto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you feel like you're actually in it. You know, you feel like you're in the picture. It's
I think
clever.
that's the idea, isn't it? You're
It is
immersed in
immersive. Yeah, it's called an
in the
immersive
pictures.
exhibition. It was in the what was it called? The Palais de Congrès, I think it was, in Montreal. This, yeah, Palais de Congrès. That was it.
It's quite poignant, isn't it? Because we recognise the paintings and we've seen the work before, but it gives you a sense of so this is what he was seeing. This is where he was.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
almost like being inside his head.
And the one with the portraits in, if you watch some of the portraits, all of a sudden one of them would wink, you know. Or just very, very subtly move the head, you know, and it's very subtle. And those were his quotes there, you see.
Yeah. There is I read a fascinating book years and years ago, and it was talking about how the when he painted Starry Night, he wouldn't have been technically aware that years later scientists would look at the magnetic fields around the Earth and see those
Yes.
and what one critic had suggested, it's possible that he had a slightly different set of vision, and he could see in other wavelengths almost.
Yeah.
Almost like what's it called, synesthesia and those types of things that some people.
Oh yeah, when you see colours in words and things like that.
But yeah, if it is odd actually that there's paintings of the night sky do match the flow of magnetic energy around our field around the planet.
It's strange actually, yeah. Yeah. And that's what it's what is drawing. It's working one's way through an invisible iron wall that seems to stand between what one feels and what one can do.
Excellent.
That's another one of his quotes.
There's a whole project in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
What did it say?
on the bottom there. Yeah.
At the bottom,
That's on the bottom.
it's
Yeah.
translated at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, what it's done, it's working its own way through an invisible iron wall. It seems to stand between what one feels and what one can do. So, to go further back, we're going back into the rest of that project. But I think I will. We've got time, so I will just I won't stop on any of them. I will just fly back through what was the Journeys project, so we can.
That is a great one, it is.
Just to do Karen's workshop.
Really good.
The digital, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Just-
lovely.
Very nice.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
Just finished watching The Last Kingdom the day before yesterday. It's just Bebumber. Never, did you go inside that, Rod? I've never been in that.
You
That
get
way
the
you go to
chance,
have
you
your,
should.
you go there to have your eyes tested, do you?
Yeah.
And to have everyone else's patience tested.
You can stand in front of two Canalettos and just you're only a yard in front of you. It's absolutely
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
Mm.
If you're up that way, it's well worth a visit. You wouldn't
Yeah.
be disappointed.
I'm hoping to get up in the summer again at some point, but August is looking pretty book solid already. I really like that one. I think that's
Eyesight open.
It's lovely building that.
Yeah.
the space moving away from us.
Okay.
There's a strange building in the middle of the road.
Mhm.
Oh, you're puffing.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh,
That's really nice.
Yeah, very good.
That'd be a nice one for the Smithdown exhibition because I can imagine the cards of that. You know, they make cards.
Yeah,
The cards that'd be
it's
brilliant.
like a
That'd be-
card.
It's lovely.
Where did you get that one from?
Oh, yes.
Mercedes?
That's what. Sorry.
Everyone's had a go with that one.
Yeah, I've had a go.
We all, there's my one. Yeah, we all had a go to it.
Mhm.
oh,
Oh, that one was mine. Well, yeah, I can't remember if I finished it. I've started painting it. I think I finished it. Put that up.
The poppies around it. I went past a week ago. I said the poppies around it looked amazing.
Mhm.
I did mine a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think we put them three together just because we'd all had to go at it, and that's probably it. If we get to do the drawing in the walker in the sculpture room, that'd be a bit like that where we'd all draw the same
I
thing.
remember when I did that one, it was freezing cold. It was freezing.
Yeah, I was Baltic when I was doing that one as well.
Absolutely freezing. Hmm.
Well, who's that? That's nice.
Nicola's lovely stuff from when she went up to she went to Wales and she was talking about this kind of memory of her father and everything, and there was a lot of her stuff is almost like stained glass where she'll do
Yes,
layers of stuff on acetate and see through it. So she builds stuff in blocks and everything, so it's three-dimensional.
beautiful.
I think some of this was exhibited in Wales as well as part of the exhibition in that artist's house.
Clever stuff.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. So the idea of layering up images so we can see through them, it's,
Oh, I see.
Ah, yes, yeah.
you can actually the twigs from the side of the road when she was going there.
Oh, then yes, yeah. I've got to pick those up yet. Next week to collect them. and David is having the one. My son's having the Crosby Beach one. He wants
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's great. That.
He said to me, "How many millions?" I said, "It's priceless." I said,
Yeah,
"Tell you what,
priceless.
he's just made some. He's made some apple chutney." I said, "I'll swap you a jar of your chutney."
Mhm.
So he said, "It's a deal."
Chutney has currency, I love that. Bitcoin to hell, doesn't it? Love this spaciousness of this. It's like layered images, but it's like coming from underneath the bridge or seeing things overlapped. I'm thinking, if I get time at the end, I'll just share a little glimpse of something that I've done, not off this project, but related to it. There's a real sense of moving through something, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Very good.
That was your finished outcome of that one, wasn't it?
Oh, Lillian,
Again, I added more colour, so I don't think that's the one. Really, I did add more colour. It looked better to me. So I don't know whether that's there.
You can always, if it's not, that this slideshow is open. So if you want to just drop
Yeah.
the slide in after this and
I'm
put
not
it.
sure. I think I sent a picture to you.
did you frame it already? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got. Actually, it's before that. There's another one, isn't there, of it?
Yeah.
You've added more colour the next week.
Yeah, I think I. Yeah, so the one, the finished one has got a lot more colour in it. Because it looks a bit bland there. So.
I love to think on this idea of like approaching something or something that's like a landmark of coming home or going to our destination, our journey's end.
And the way it goes round the corner, you don't know what's round the corner.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like
I
that.
mean, it's not just straight on, it's
Hmm?
curving.
Just anticipation.
Yeah.
I'll put an updated picture on.
I had an experience of this a long time ago when my mum and dad both grew up in Ireland and met each other in Ireland, even though they were from two sides of Nugent Park in Liverpool. They didn't live in Liverpool. So I always feel very strongly connected to that place in Ireland. But I'm not. It's the grandpa. It's actually the grandparents. So I can't get Irish citizenship. I could have my EU citizenship back if I could get Irish citizenship. But yeah, they kind of met over there, and they had all of these early colour photos, like really mad Technicolor photos. When they were first doing colouring, they didn't quite get it right, and the little photos of all the time in Ireland. And they were in a bag. When I was little, they were in a bag in my mum's room, and I used to go through them and look at them as these exciting.
Yeah.
And then when must have been about 25. My mum wanted to go back to the cottage where she grew up, so we went to Ireland, and it was like kind of a pilgrimage to go back to the place. And as we got off the coach and we got a taxi along the coastal road, and as we were coming around the mountains of Mourne, I started to recognise places. Not from ever having been in that area, but from these really old photos. I started to almost like an inherited memory of what was round the corner. So I knew where we were going, and it was a really weird sensation to kind of have a recognition of a place that physically you've never been in. That was like a coming home thing, and again, it reminds me of this because the mountains of Mourne, as we went round the coastal road, kind of made sense to me as like I'm coming home, even though I've never been there.
You've never been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of transports you, doesn't it?
Totally, yeah. Well, we have. I think this is part of the. We're unpicking the Journeys project now, aren't we? But part of my reason is that connection to a sense of space and somewhere where we feel like we, how important that place is to us. Whether it's somewhere where we live or somewhere where we go to that's far away, it doesn't really matter. This is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Circular gate at Chatsworth Park in Basel. The only one I've ever seen like that.
I've never seen. I love the design of it, I have to say, but I've never seen one like it.
Tell you what,
I've
it's
never
awkward.
seen it like that, no.
It's awkward to draw.
So I presume there's a pivot here, so it rotates on that.
You spin around. It's awkward to draw.
Amazing.
It's almost like a kind of ticket turnstile or something, isn't it? It's more than a gate.
To keep the sheep out.
Yeah.
Lovely colours.
In the Peak District, they don't have style. They're bricks and walls. That's what the one on the left is a gap in the wall. That's what they go in for the very narrow. You can hardly get your foot through.
Yeah. But I suppose a person can turn sideways and know to step through it, whereas a sheep keep walking into it, would they not be able to get through it?
That's right. That's right. I mean, when you're on the walk, Chatsworth suddenly appears in the distance. So.
Yeah.
Is it all watercolour? Is it water?
Yeah, just ordinary watercolour,
Nice tones.
Yeah.
They're very sort of soothing colours, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
soothing
lovely.
colours.
Yeah.
The connection with that church is the architect has had to do with some churches in Liverpool.
Right.
Wow.
I love this shadow here. Sense of where the light's coming from, because we've got the light side here, and then we've got the shadow up there. It tells us we're in a real space. Would you ever take acrylics out with you, Roddo?
Yeah, tell you what, say again.
Would you ever take acrylics out with you?
I wouldn't mind doing it. You need to work on the acrylics a bit more.
It's a lovely. It just it feels like a really forgiving medium, acrylic. Once it's dry, you can just paint over it. So if it's not going right, it'll let you just carry on working over it.
Correct, isn't it? Whereas watercolours are different.
Yeah. But I mean, you can re-wet an area of what's called lift it off with the brush, but it's a lot trickier than just paint over something.
You spoil the paper then, don't you?
Yeah, and that's it. In order to do that, you'd have to have really good quality paper. You can't just do it. And
that one's no good because the bottom of the pub line goes up to the right, it should be up, not horizontal.
Yeah, so that's but again, like urban sketching and being out drawing in the environment is we can play all those perspective games, and it does.
I try to do most of them in about sort of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you're with people, you get bored.
Yeah, this is my problem as well. We're like Kev is very patient, but there's times when he's sat and got sunburnt while I've drawn, but you can't ask that if I'm summer every day.
That's just typical sort of gate that you meet on a walk.
Really nice.
Yeah, that's lovely. That'd be really nice in a little kind of guidebook or something.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Lovely one.
It is.
Thank you.
It's simple. It's lovely. Yeah, I like that.
These are nice from Eileen, aren't they? Eileen.
Oh, is that? Yes.
Yeah,
Eileen.
Eileen.
Bob Dylan's
It's a
flat.
Bob Dylan homage, isn't it?
Yeah, that really sums up that idea of pilgrimage as well, doesn't it? Of going somewhere that's really important, just to be there, just to like connect with it.
Where was that? Where was that?
Didn't she say it was in New York? And it's
New
now
York, yeah.
a knocking shop.
She's gone around like Greenwich Village and everything.
Isn't it so where some of the other ladies of the night work from?
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, she went to see where he lived,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I think that's where
Is that it?
that was it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how she's done that brickwork. It's really good.
Go down, Stump.
Good.
It looks almost like a wax resist or something, doesn't it? As if she's like put the white line down and then watercolour over.
One of those white biro pens.
Could be on top of the watercolour. Yeah, it's
Very effective. Whatever.
Very effective.
this dude is great. the swagger of the walk is brilliant.
That's great, isn't
Well, that's
It's
lovely.
a
Very
good picture. A good picture in its own right, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I've been there, but I would never have thought it was so busy and so frantic. I would never sit down and draw in the middle of it. Well, these are Josie's.
Oh yes, yeah.
This is a wonderful outcome. And it's just
Very
heartbreakingly poignant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a story of a common journey that we've all been through. It's not something that.
It'll be part of the history books. It's really
Oh,
good.
yeah. Well, I think we as artists give an honest visual record of what our experience is, and we if we don't do that, then we're just making pretty pictures. This has got an honesty to it that's just. I mean, all of these have actually. They're all everything we've seen up to now is deeply poignant because it's so honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Journey through COVID. Fantastic. I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
I loved it.
This is as
They
well.
put the footprints in as well.
Yeah, our use of the book is. I'd like to do this thing called artist books, which is not sketchbooks. It's a whole different form, and it links, to some extent to what Paul's doing, making your own books, that type of stuff. So I'd like to do a project about that at some point. So that it's actually like a form like painting or sculpture. The artist book is a whole other form of fine arts practice.
Very nice.
Stunning.
This is Andrew, isn't it?
Is that Andreas?
Yeah, Andrew stuff.
Lovely.
Love
Yeah.
the colour.
I'm doing
Oh.
sketches for.
It's not Andrew. It's
Yeah,
Heather.
Heather,
Heather's.
Heather stuff.
Oh, Heather's. All right.
Others, okay.
Heather's really extending a printmaking though. So she went over to the Iron Press with Ursula to do stuff in Lancaster. This is what she was doing, and she was looking at romantic poets like Coleridge, and and the sense of the sublime. So we did, remember one week we talked about the Grand Tour, the idea that, you know, the artists would go off to explore places just to learn to draw. So this
Oh, beautiful.
stunning, isn't it? The size and you know, the composition is great with all this empty space, which is pretty much the golden section, isn't it? You know, if we think about it, and it's also the rule of thirds. You know, on this third is where the point of interest is, but it leaves us all this space, which tells us that the figure, the person, in comparison to the jagged rocks, is tiny. So we're being told that just by leaving a lot of space and by by scale. Amazing, lovely little drawing. The handmade book there, this is essentially an artist's book. So we can see it's not a sketchbook. It's not there to work out ideas. It is the finished idea, it's just in book form. And this idea of mapping mood by colour. Again, stunning.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Composition is amazing as well, isn't it? With this
Yes.
big white space behind the house to make the house more striking. Yeah.
Really dramatic, aren't they?
That tree.
You've done all these on digitally, haven't you?
Yeah. So it'll start off with a drawing or an idea and an observation. Then she'll make the drawing, then she'll digitally colorize it. And you know, I mean, I read a lot of graphic novels, and I'll be looking out for things like this all the time, about like balance and composition and proportion and everything, and that, you know, just the black tone, the solidity of it, enough, isn't it? You know, it's not only very sophisticated, but it's very pared down as well. It took out a lot of detail. You know, it's cracking set of work.
Yeah.
Can you use photographs as well, or?
Yeah, you can do. There's a thing called rotoscoping, which is, you know, a lot of graphic novels actually draw over photographs. So you might go out and like take photos of people in 100 different situations. You know? So you could do like a 2-day walk around where you photograph anyone in every situation you want from your story, and then literally draw over them and make them into your kind of original.
Oh, is that,
That's from Lynn,
Lynn.
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's lovely.
It is, isn't it?
lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, you know, the idea that our journey includes history and real events and real people. So much light, isn't it? So this is the kind of thing as well, because this was worked on, you know, and some of the, you know, we would actually
Bobby?
end up at Smithdown as well. You know, these could be part of that exhibition in January if people wanted. That's wonderful.
That's great, isn't it? You can feel the heat in that.
Really sophisticated, actually, really kind of very advanced. And it's as much of what you leave out, which tells us about the quality of the light, as what you put in. And again, yeah, I mean that's an impressionist masterpiece. That. Yeah, the light in that, the idea, it's so hazy, isn't it? It's so kind of you know, literally feel the heat on you.
Yes.
You want to get your parasol out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did it from photograph format.
Yeah, it's a cracker. It's something for me to do with the comparison between this strong contrast here and how hazy the windmill is, in
Yes.
terms of, like, you know, the quality of the light on that day. Yeah. I love that one.
Oh,
Love the color.
that's lovely.
It hasn't got the view anymore. It built a big apartment block in front of it.
Yeah, that's the world, isn't it?
You just can't see that. at all now.
Oh,
Yeah. Before I moved into this flat, we had a view. We could see the cathedral and everything, and it's the university just built big Lego blocks in front of it.
Yeah.
You just see walls now.
yeah.
I like the way you've got the twinkling lights as well.
Yeah,
You know.
so it's
Yes.
almost like that time of the evening, isn't it? Or that's
Yeah.
like the time when the lights just first start to come on. Yeah.
It could be a long distance forest fire, couldn't it, when you look at it?
You don't. Well, actually, weirdly, when we looked at that artist in Montreal earlier on, who did the paint to forest fires, it was similar colours, wasn't it?
It could, with
Yes,
the big,
yeah.
in America they've had those things. That's sort of, in Australia, that's the sort of thing you'd see at dusk, couldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Australia's been battered by it.
No, I wonder where that was. Yeah, my church. That was the third one I put in the Atkinson as well.
Yeah, I remember you working on this as well. So I feel like you must have finished this one a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Was it-
Well, no, the other two ones I've done a while ago.
Yeah.
This one is the most recent one actually, but I put them all in because they were all connected to Merseyside, you know.
Yeah.
It looks better on the wall than it does there. in real life. No, seriously, it looks better on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things, isn't it? When we do life drawing on it, we photograph the work to put it on slides. It's hard to do the work justice sometimes with a photograph.
Yeah.
Particularly, I mean, I'll always, throw my own shadow over the work, or. So, our fellow traveller, Jill's memorial being next Tuesday.
Oh, this was Jill.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. That's lovely, isn't it?
And this is really, I mean, I think she aced it here. This was like the way we do a map is we put together the important bits. We don't need, the bits that are not, that's the walk from there to there. We what we're looking for is the landmarks and the things that tell us.
Yeah.
Which is why this is really poignant for me, because this is there is a metaphor of how we map a landscape or a space between how we experience our lives and the things that happen to us along the way.
Yeah.
And the bits that maybe we'll do a month's work and not remember very much of it. Particularly if it's the same routine day after day. But we'll have a day out where it was something spectacular happens and we'll remember that. So our lives are laid out very much like this, and I think she absolutely aced this.
Yes.
And it is particularly wonderful to do her work in the context of our work. Now, knowing that she's not here with us,
Yes.
her work as part of us. So I think it's
Right. Right.
I always love Nicola's work as well. I just think this is classic.
Right.
This is the one that had if you remember, talking about the nuclear power station and what would be left if it was pulled down or if it was left to be abandoned. And of course it can't be, because there's a reactor there, and it will be there, in some shape or form for thousands of years until our culture is gone and it leaks radioactivity to the sea or whatever. But this is actually a magnetic shape of what the building was like.
Oh, right. Yes.
And almost like even the magnetism, the idea that it would stick to the surface, magnetism is on that electromagnetic kind of, scale, isn't it, where radiation and things like that live. So. It's amazing, I think.
Did you do that then? How was that done?
The painting is the painting, but
Yeah.
the building, which will either be there or be gone. I've actually been to this is Portland.
Yeah.
This has fallen into the sea. In 1,000 years' time, there'll be none of it left, just the cliffs. But the cliffs will look the same, pretty much. Our little contribution of the
Has she
building.
done that too? What did she do? How did she put the?
It's like a fridge magnet. So it's
Oh, I see. Oh, right.
so that's the actual painting.
Painting. Yeah.
That's with the fridge magnet.
Oh,
The idea that you can just remove the trace from the landscape is
right.
what she's talking about.
Very clever.
But yeah, if you see them now, you
Yeah.
can see how it's done.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Good, isn't it? It's really good. Oh, yes.
Great, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
So Paul had done this is one of his very early ones. This isn't a recent thing, but so yeah, 1988. This is Paul's work from.
That's lovely.
In fact, actually, that was 1988. It was the year after that I was at college at Paul. so that's how long ago this was.
It's the year after what? Sorry. What did you say?
1988, I finished my A-levels, and then 1989 I went on to City Liverpool College as it was at the time, City College. And Paul was there as well. We didn't really know each other that well at college. But yeah, we both kind of studied at the same time and knew the same people. And one of the people we both knew was Elsa, obviously. So yeah, it ties right back. This is like donkeys years ago. Why donkeys are allowed to have ears, I don't know. Again, you know, our journeys tell the story of our experiences. So, and at any other, 10 years ago, 10 years into the future, hopefully we won't be talking about journeys to COVID jobs. Andrew's initial, so that's lovely to see that process then, isn't it? See how it builds off, how you colorize it, what you drop into the computer, and what so you can actually, if you're doing this on like Photoshop or Procreate or whatever, you can just tip in with a paint bucket to fill a whole area. So you literally just click on an area and it'll flood it with particular colours. It's a gorgeous way of working.
That's a print then, Toc, or is it?
It's drawing, yeah. It looks like lino cut, doesn't it? But it's actually it's drawn. Yeah.
Fabulous.
But I love the idea as well that she's included this page so we can see how the plan and how the So you'll often draw it out in pencil first before you ink.
Yeah.
In fact, in graphic novels and in comics, it was often two people's jobs. The first person would draw out the drawings, and then someone would ink them. So the inking person wouldn't be the same artist. It's kind of solidify the design.
Love the way she's done the stitching on that round the steering wheel.
Yes. This is it. It's what you leave out, but it's also the nuance of detail that you put in, isn't it? It's just enough to tell us.
And on the key ring as well.
She's made a decision there as well. See where she's painted the nail black or dark. If you look at the later ones, she's edited that so it's not so much like that. So it's like kind of just shadow on the finger, really. And that was one of my drawing the flyover before they pulled it down, because I love the flyover.
Why didn't you just do a few buildings, Tom?
I am a sucker for this, because a lot of people think I'm not into urban sketching because I don't often go with the group to go urban sketching, and it's not really that. It's more just that I like to go on my own and urban sketch. So I'll often just go and sit, particularly if I'm on holiday, go sit in a place and draw it. Anyway, so that's our results and journeys. So thank you for working so hard on that. I really like that project. It was great. We've got obviously we'll start a new project in September, but probably for the rest of July, we'll do individual things rather than linking it to a specific project. So there's loads of little individual fiddly things that I want to show you that aren't quite going to fit in with a broad project. So we'll do quite a lot of what would you call them, separate little islands of visual adventure, and then we'll start a new proper project in September when we start back with this, and also we start back with Art from the Start in Smithdown. Okay, so I will send out. I think we've got Matt with us for Life Drawing this week instead of Eve. So I'll send out links for Life Drawing for everyone
Okay.
tomorrow. We'll do the action replay of that on Wednesday. Next week, Jill's memorial will be on the Tuesday afternoon. So I think what I might do is I might pre-record the session on the Monday evening with Eve if she's free to do that. So
Some pieces.
it's what are you saying, sorry, Lynn?
What time is it at St. Peter's?
Oh,
Go
2
into
o'clock.
2 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah.
2 o'clock.
yeah. There's the burial itself, and then there's the.
I don't have Lynn's email address, so I haven't sent the details to her. How about Rod? Have you got the details?
I've got the details. I've got the details. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I sent it out on. So yeah,
You put it on Patreon, didn't you?
put it on. Yeah, I sent it as an email rather than so it was just. Oh, I know.
I've
I
got
think it's-
Sharon's. I've got yours from Sharon, and I've also got Tuck's. So
Yeah.
I'll just pull up the email now. So we can,
but Paul
I got
Paul
the
sent
email.
one out for me.
I've seen it, I just couldn't remember the time. Fine.
Yeah.
They asked that we let them know if we're going to come because they want to know about catering.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will. I mean, I think as many of us will try and get there as possible, and we'll shift Life Drone around because it is an important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Service to celebrate the life of Jill held at St. Peter's Church, Woolton, on Tuesday at 2, followed by light refreshments in the church hall. And preceding that will be the burial service at 12:15.
And we're prefers not to wear black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, I think probably I'll go to the service at the church, but not to the burial because it feels like I don't want to intrude too much. I just want to.
No, I'm just going
I'll
to
go to the burial.
No, we're just going to the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is lovely that they're keeping that open for us, but just to be respectful, I'll probably just go to the site.
Yeah.
Just go to the
It's
church.
more a family thing, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Burial, I think.
And also, just kind of on the logistical details, the family saying, don't give flowers, but if you want to make a memorial gift,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's often the way people do it now, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's a Just Given link. That'll be live if people want to go into that.
Yeah.
It'll just if we're going over, just let them know. So on your link on your email will be that. So you can just click on that. It'll open a new email to them, and then
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Is that on Patreon?
it's on Patreon. Yeah, so it's just sent out as an email to everyone. I think yesterday or the day before. But yeah, if you look in your emails off Patreon, it'll be there and it's got the links in it. But if you can't find it, just email me and I'll send it
It
out.
was on the Patreon page. I mean, I don't get emails from Patreon, but I got it on the Patreon news thing.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, that's where we're up to with that. There is, let's see, we have run over time, haven't we? I've got a piece. Just very quickly show you what it is. The toolbox on the way again. Okay. I've got a piece. Which is a video that I made a while ago, and I met Ursula yesterday. Ursula had come to meet me because I'd sold some work in Lancaster, and she came to give me some money, which was great of her. This is a piece called Silent Ritual that I made just from video clips of going to various places. And it's got no sound, and it's in Latin, obviously, because I did. Even now, I still grew up Catholic. But Derek Jarman made films where he collaged images together. They weren't narrative; they didn't make sense. But was about going through the year, and Vernon was spring. So it goes through each season. But it was a journey's response. It's about traveling to places and moving through time, but also through space. So it's half an hour, so I'm not going to show you this now. But if you do want to sit down quietly for a cup of tea and watch it, I'll include this as well on the page. So it's kind of like a quiet meditation. You probably recognise some of the place.
Yeah.
So I went and did, it's the idea as well is ritual, and these are 7 bowls of offering, which is a traditional Buddhist offering, and there's pagan images in it, and there's kind of really ancient things about like Morris dancing and all kinds of stuff. So it's not, it's Jarman-esque in that it's not narrative, it's not designed to make sense, it's just linking together images, dreamlike. Travelled around a lot to do this, and so that's Aistis is summer, and it goes through the year. Does these strange things. That was everyone was. This is. I was also as part of not just collective, so we were including the work of other artists as well, just to make it like a through the year thing. And that was just someone. Bottles of water being tipped down a drain outside the pub that I just. He did two boxes. I went, wait, stop, and said, "Can I film you doing the next one?" And they'd gone eat or something, and thinking, "Yeah, water." They'd gone past the state. So yeah, the fact that he was tipping it out, I just thought, I've got to have this. But yeah, I was trying to encourage Ursula to overlap stuff, and make collage, but using film. It's the Green Man. Obviously. Yeah, it goes through essentially these, and you can probably guess which season autumnal it is. Yeah, this thing where I was, I wanted to. Some cultures had this idea that you had to make an offering, like the Aztecs believed that you had to sacrifice blood to make the sun come back up. This was an offering of apples, which were pinned onto nails and smelled fantastic while I was doing this, except wasps kept coming over. But yeah, one of the kind of, this reference to Wiccan as well. So the pentacle is often miscredited as an evil symbol. It's actually the symbol for good. But I thought it was fascinating to do. There were 12 apples, which are 12 months of the year, and I wove wove it around each one of them until it gradually became more and more dense and mathematical. And my tiny dyslexic brain couldn't imagine what it was going to look like when it was finished, so I just did it. So we went to kind of January and February, and each one wove the same pattern until it became pretty intense. Yeah, it smelled fantastic doing it, and it was just this idea of making a kind of a ritual. Yeah, lots of travelling and going to places, and then basically that was the bombed out church when they were filming the shadows of Lancaster bombers and things to attack German installations. Gold leaf, you can't be without gold leaf. and glimpses of exhibitions that have been in the church they're going to. This obviously is winter. That's a fascinating thing. The extinguishing of candles was in water was a medieval Catholic ritual of for people being thrown out of the church. But yeah, it goes from basically from winter through from spring through to winter. There was just some weird things walking around by fact that
Yeah.
filming them and saying to someone, did you see that? Or was that just me? Sometimes when you see entities from another dimension and you're not sure whether anyone else has seen it or not.
Where were they?
Must be like night or something.
I think, yeah, it's like haunting energy. It's down by on Bold Street.
Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing actually. They were kind of like icicle people or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is that lovely Northumbria.
Very good.
So
You're
yeah,
going to include a link for that?
I'll include the link to it. Yeah, because it's not. I did it for an exhibition to be playing on a screen in the background. So sculpture and painting.
Today I want to talk about the greatest painter of all time, John Singer Sargent. I'm going to be breaking down observations other master painters have about his work. And
apologies for that. This video about Sargent keeps cropping up in the back.
I didn't see your lips move there.
Oh, it's telling me that I need to learn more about Sargent because it's obviously.
There was one thing missing from that top.
Yeah.
Halos.
Well, to be honest, actually,
A few.
we had the odd sneaky halo in there, but I did skim past a bit, but I'll put that up so you can have a look at it if you want to. And it's silent, so you can just have a quiet half hour if you want to watch it. But, okay, so we'll finish up there because we have run over a little bit.
Will you put the phone number of Smith down on as well?
Yeah, I'll add that onto the work. So what I'm going to finish recording this, put it on YouTube. So it probably won't be till this evening, but I'll post this onto Patreon. Put the Word doc with the Smithdown phone number as a doc underneath it.
Okay.
I'll put the silent ritual up if people want to watch it.
Thank you.
The Word doc will just be another summary of the various dates.
Yeah, basically that's just what we were reading through earlier on. So it's just so you can read it at your own speed.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.